Welcome, everyone. It is John the Net Guy. So good to be here. It's been a while. you know, I haven't gone and done a live stream in probably almost 2 months, and that's not without reason. I've actually been trying to come up with a different format for the show, something that works well for me and my schedule, something that works well for you and your schedule, because obviously this show is for you. I've got a ton of great tech that's literally been stacking up. When I say stacking up, my entryway, people that know me and come visit, they're like, "Oh, John, what is that?" It's a pile of boxes of really cool stuff. I'm going to be doing a show when I get a time to do it. It's hard to do Tech Day Live on Tuesday, or I just messed that up. Tech on Tuesday. So I just happened to own the domain Tech Day Live. And I thought, you know what? Any day is a good day for tech. I can do it on Saturday mornings, Sunday afternoons, whenever I get a moment. I'll be doing a show. I want to check in on the chat and see if a few of you guys know. Hey, Jeremy's in here. He says, new music. Look at that. Absolutely, it is. Now, I did a ton of giveaways last year, and I want to continue doing giveaways. Unfortunately, they're just an absolute pain to do correctly, and Amazon kind of shut everybody down. So we're not allowed to ask for any sort of personal information. So even if you won on Amazon, I wouldn't be able to get you something. I still want to do cool giveaways, so I'm thinking of working something with maybe an after show. So we'll end the Amazon show early, and then we'll do the giveaway, something cool like that. Had a great time the last couple months. I just got back from skiing, so if I look sore when I pick anything up, that is literally because it's been 10 years since I've been on a snowboard, and I beat myself up on the mountain on Saturday. I do have to let the Amazon guys in. We are going to go through some cool tech here. You are helping me record content, so if you ever wanted to be a YouTuber or Amazon Liver or whatever we're going to call it, this is what we're doing today. So quick sound check for me. I see we got quite a few people actually. Awesome. Good to see you guys in here. Let me know how the audio is. Raise it, lower it, maybe get an applause in there occasionally if I can. But let me know how that sounds. I want to get it just right for Amazon. So you may see me stop. You may see me hold up a product that's for a thumbnail picture. You can just totally give me a grief in the chat, and I'll try to do that. Jeremy says sounds good to him, so that's good enough for me. Let's go live Amazon in 3, 2, 1. Hey, welcome everyone. It is John, and it is Tech Day Live. It is Tuesday night. We're just checking out some cool new tech tonight. First, starting out with a product from the Astro AI company. Now, Astro AI reached out to me mid last year and said, "Hey, what would you think about looking at some of our products?" And I hadn't heard of them, and so I started looking around, and sure enough, they sent me out a portable freezer, which was awesome. We're actually going to be using that here next month on a road trip because it's so cool. They sent me out some of their multimeters. I was just using one this weekend, and they've come back with another multimeter. Now, this one is more entry level, but it has some features that I don't see normally in a entry level multimeter. Let me hit that on the carousel real quick, just so if you are watching on Amazon, and somebody just hit me on Twitter and they're like, "Nice flannel shirt." Yeah, I don't know if I'm Al Borland on that show, but here we go. Hello, everyone. I'm just checking in with my Amazon peeps here, and we're going to be taking a look, like I said, at the Astro AI multimeter. That's one of the first products here. I'm going to do a quick unboxing. I got a ton of cool cameras as well, so I'm going to do a couple things. One, if you want to follow the deals and you're not watching on Amazon, check the description. The link's in there. This one's on sale. A ton of them are on sale, so we want to do that. I'm going to keep this rolling at the bottom for you guys. So you're going to see that scroller at the bottom. That's just so everybody that's joining knows to unmute, follow, do all that kind of stuff. Try to keep it unannoying. But let's see if I remember where the top-down camera is. I do. And then we're going to do that so you guys can see me as well. So like I said, this is kind of an entry-level multimeter. So this is their digital multimeter. It's going to come with the standard probes that you see. It's pretty straightforward. It's going to have a user manual, and that's it. 3 pieces come in the box. There is no carrying case like some of the other ones have. So, I recommend having a multimeter almost in every vehicle if you're a nerd like me. And have it definitely in your workshop. I have multiple multimeters. This one is absolutely brand new, so I am going to peel the cover off. I did test it out just a little bit earlier, and you can see it has a liquid crystal display. Now, it's going to be backlit, so when I turn it on, the batteries come with it right out of the gate. So there's nothing to do, but if you ever do need to change the battery here, looks like it's 2 AAA batteries here. So you can take that screw out and you can do it. It has this kind of outside shell that normally would be rubberized on a lot of these. It feels a little bit more plasticky, but you know, at the price here, I honestly don't mind. If we want a backlight, I just hit that button and now you can see those characters a lot easier here. We're going to take the probes. And again, I got in trouble the other day. Somebody didn't believe me when I said these are like Fluke compatible. Oh, getting a crackle a little bit in the audio. Okay, battery's not going out, but I do have my audio right here. Thank you guys for helping me out here. I'm just going to make sure that my cable and my receiver are nice and cool. Somebody got me in trouble the other day. They said, that's, you know, the standard, you know, probe connections. That's not Fluke. Well, yeah, everybody knows them that way. So these are standard probe connections, which is nice because you can use these with other multimeters, or you can upgrade them to different styles. You can have alligator clips and stuff. So they have one rating when they have the covers on here, so you can work with high voltage. They have another rating if you pull these little covers off, because they're worried about arc, and if you would have an arc across these. I am going to try turning down audio one tiny bit. Hey, we got a guy in here. He's just give us a one. There we go. He says, I've recently been watching your videos and they are fire. They are chilling. I like that. Awesome. Warbly and crackling sound. Okay, well, that's not what we go for. Let's do this. I'm going to check a couple more things and we're just going to see if that improves. If that doesn't improve it, you guys got to keep me honest here. We'll get that figured out. I do have a backup that I can go to if we need to. It's not going to be as good, but I'll get that thing ready for us. Yeah, YouTuber, here we go. So I literally have an extra mic just sitting in the ceiling. So we'll turn this guy on just as a backup in case we need to switch over to it, because audio. So tonight we're taking a look at this Astro AI digital multimeter. Again, entry level, it's in the carousel right now. It's going to have some basic functions, AC, DC voltage. It's going to have continuity. It's going to have diode checking, all the basics that you're going to want. But one thing that threw me here is if you look at this dial, that's where you select it. It doesn't have a direct DC on here. I actually had to go over to one of these. And what's interesting about that is it's 1.5 volts or 9 volts or 12 volts. Oh, dang. Denny says breaking up. I don't like that. Give me 1 second. Here we go. We got that. Okay. And we can turn off. There's one more setting here. Sorry, guys. We can turn off some of the settings over here. I normally have all these noise and AGC are off. Okay, so hopefully that cleaned up just a little. I'm going to come back over here. I know how annoying that can be, but hopefully... Oh, Mike better now, he's saying. Okay, we like that. So literally, it's a funny thing talking about my mic. Before every show, I always put a brand new set of batteries in. Now, I didn't know after the last show, had I stopped? Had I put new batteries in? Had I not? So what I've done is I've gotten a couple of the batteries out here, and I haven't even tested these yet, but what I was saying about this 1.5, 9, and 12, those are your most common voltage tests. You're going to test for voltage that way. And check this out. So I can take it on both sides, and as soon as I touch it, there's that green light. Now it's 1.38, which is actually pretty low. But you can see how it's got that green versus red light up at the top. So if I said that this was a 9-volt battery, you'll see this right away. See that red light that shows on the top of the meter? So it's saying it's way under volts for a 9-volt battery. So it's actually kind of a convenient feature if you think about it. So you're going, okay, I'm going to go right to test batteries. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to test a 9-volt. Or with most car stuff, I'm going to test 12, right? So you can check, and it's way under for 12. So that's just one feature. A couple other cool buttons I want to familiarize you with. Now, I don't need these probes for this, but check this out. So I can turn the screen on and off, but if I long press on it, has a built-in flashlight. Look at that. So again, this can be kind of cool if you're trying to trace an electrical problem. Maybe you're doing some vehicle work and you want to trace along something and it's dark. You can do that. Maybe you've got a power outage or you're tracing some wires and you have the circuit turned off. You can come through and look at that. Another thing which I never see at this price range is a non-contact voltmeter. So right here on the top, it's going to have this little tiny hexagon, I guess you would say. I'm going to switch this all the way to the right. That's live NCV mode. Now, I might have to change things off here to the side camera for you to see this, but as I get closer now, and now it's not going to do it, see, when it's live. But let me grab a power source. What this can do is it finds live line voltage. Now you can see what it's doing there. See that green light? It's so sensitive, it would literally go on to that. See how it says H for high and a red light. Now it's green for low. So it can detect stray current that's on a line. So this is plugged in, means that this is live. Now I can do the same thing by just coming up to any old outlet and I can point to it. So I know that that circuit's still on. Maybe you're doing some work on a overhead lamp, maybe installing a new lamp. These things are amazing because you can just put it up there and you'll know if you have current available, and not to electrocute yourself, which is always important. So that's another cool feature of the Astro AI digital multimeter. It's got all the standard functions that you would expect. It does have a speaker built in. It also has amperage measurement, so if you need to see how much stuff is drawing, and continuity measurement. Maybe you're into doing networking, electronics, other stuff. Just touching these together, try to get this as close as I can to the mic. So you're going to get that sound, and that sound says that you have continuity. It's also an ohms reading that you're going to get, so 0 ohms, which you'd expect. So just checking the chat real quick. Oh man, this is awesome. Dope saying, hey, love your Dell Optiplex videos. They help me a lot as I'm building one too. Congratulations. I need to make more PC content like that. I really do. I have like 5 half-built computers that I'm going to be blowing out here pretty quick too. So thanks for checking in on that. So this is from the Astro AI company. Again, very good starter multimeter. I've seen a lot of really cheap multimeters that, you know, have analog screens, which are hard to read, and other issues with them. This is a digital multimeter. It's going to have the automatic power off, auto ranging, NCV, all of the great things that you'd want about it. I'm just going to take a look real quick. 3 samples per second. It's got a 3999 digital display that it says. And operating temperature is going to be from freezing to 104 degrees. So there you go. Uh-oh, still cutting in and out. Ooh, okay. Let me check one thing. If I switch over to this, you guys, I'm going to need that one. Okay. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay on that one, or if it's crazy or good, bad, indifferent. That's the overhead mic here, and I'll try to speak normally into that. So let me know if that works in about 10-15 seconds. I'll see that from you guys. So the next products that are coming up were actually provided to me. There we go. Okay, just checking. Very tin can-like Echo. Oh, see, that's the problem. You go from one out of the frying pan into the fire, they say. Isn't that it? Let me try one more mic. Let me know what that microphone sounds like if you can, if that's good or bad. I turned it down just a tick. So, better in a closet. Well, the good news is I'll be able to recover it afterward because I've got all the audio sources separated and we can check that out. Let me know. Oh, Jim says that's better. Okay, good. We found a microphone over here that works better than the rest. You only need like 3 or 4 of these to be a YouTuber. I do want to thank Ugreen for sending these out. Now, I've used a lot of Ugreen peripherals. I've used adapters from them, lots of cool stuff. They make cables and they make chargers. And when they reached out to me, unfortunately, it was right after I took a trip. And I wish they would have reached out to me right before the trip because this charger is awesome. This is a 100-watt charger with 4 discrete outputs. Now, I can't tell you, when I went on that trip, I brought a lot of the products that I've used before here on the show. And I've got a charging brick that we brought. I've got a bunch of different chargers that worked really well, mind you. I've got cables. I've got all this stuff. and it ended up being, you know, who's got the charging cable for this, who's got the charging cable for that. The nice thing about this from Ugreen is they've actually combined all of the chargers that you need for your laptop, your cell phone, your power brick, all of that into one, and it's tiny. So we're going to do an unboxing real quick here. Here we go. This is literally how small this thing is. So this is the box that it comes in. Camera caught up with us here. I'm going to open it up for you guys. Like I said, I really wish I could have taken this on my last trip because this would have made everything simpler. Remember, when you're carrying those laptop power bricks with the big cord and wrapped around everything, check that out. This is how small that is. Now, I don't have enormously big hands. I know, yeah, make fun of that. But this fits in the palm of my hand, and it has built-in prongs for the US outlets that literally hide. And it can go in both directions on the outlet, so it's not polarized plug. Now, the important thing of it and what makes it so special are those outputs. Now, you're saying maybe I need to still keep my old USB-A, like from 1927 cables. There's your USB-A from 1927. There's your USB Type-C, and there's two 100-watt outputs. Now, what needs 100 watt? This laptop that I'm using right here can max out at like 65 watts. It can't even do it. My MacBook Pro back here, I'm going to yank it out here for you. Just to be a comparison, my MacBook Pro here, which I added a bunch of video on, it's a 16-inch MacBook. This can use up to 145, which is insane. Nobody would ever do that, but it charges great at 100 watts. So you can use the USB output from this into a MacBook Pro. Now, let me show you the difference. I'm just going to grab the charger. Uh-oh. I'm like looking to see where I put the charger for this one. Oh, there it is. I'm going to grab you the charger for a MacBook Pro 16-inch and let you visually see the difference. So this one only has 145 watt output, and look how much smaller that is. This has 100 watts total output across the 4 connections, but you can charge your laptop, a second laptop or power brick, a cell phone, and anything else you want to plug in at the same time. The MacBook, just one. So you get this big massive cable, can't do much with it. So this is from Ugreen. So again, we plug it in. Let me read off to you the specs real quick on these. The first 2 ports do all of the USB Type-C power delivery standards. So you're going to do 5 volts 3 amps, 9 volts 3 amps, 12 volts at 3 amps, 15 volts at 3 amps, and the big kahuna is the 20 volt 5 amps. So when you get a lot of these USB power delivery chargers, they max out at 30, 45, 65. This is 100 watts in this size. So I can boost the audio a little bit. I love having an audio engineer on stream, so I just upped that a little bit. One of our friends said it was a little bit low. Again, I'm getting audio from that mic over there. So that is from Ugreen. This is their 100 watt power brick. So that's a pretty good deal. Let me pull that up on the Amazon carousel and we can show you that. I'll also pull it up here so you can see it up close on the screen. If you're wondering what that looks like, let's pull up. There we go. I'm going to pull up the show page here, and you can come down here to Tech Day Live number 1. These are all of the products I'm going to show you today. This is the power brick that I'm telling you about right now. It's $79.99, but it's got a 30% off coupon today. So I don't know what the price is going to be later, and that's what we cut out of the review video, but it's 30% off right now. Probably one of the last chargers you're going to ever need. So again, you can get up to 100 watts on a single port. It'll automatically switch and figure out exactly how much it can output, but it has 4 outputs on something that really about as wide as a deck of cards and maybe a tiny bit thicker, but that's all you need to carry if you're a constant traveler, and it's not too heavy. I like that. It's going to work with your iPhones. It's going to work with all your Android devices. It's also going to work with a tablet that we've got coming up here. So that's part of the reason I put it in this order. But lots of cool capabilities here on this one. And there you go. So instead of carrying all of those different chargers, I showed you the size of the Mac charger back there. You can carry just one charger and you're good to go. Coming back to the chat, Jeremy says that's better. Okay, good. I like this. You guys are interactive tonight. You're helping me out with keeping the show honest and everything. I'm going to show you a couple other products that they actually sent out at the same time. I'm going to have to do them individually here. But one of the things that's most important right now, I just ran into this the other day, which is from Ugreen, you need to have high quality USB cables, especially if you're going to transfer 100 watts like we're seeing out of their new charger here. So they sent me out one of their braided 100 watt USB Type C to Type C cables. So this is a male to male cable, and excellent in conjunction with their charger if you want to do this. So there's the information that comes with it, the user information manual. If you don't know how to plug this cable in, come talk to me after class. But honestly, great cable. I use this to charge up my MacBook earlier. You can use this to charge up a tablet, which is why I've got it out now. Let me show you the quality on the ends here. So one of the biggest problems is stress on the ends, especially when you have those molded cables. So they've tapered the molding here. It's a lot thicker than you would expect normally. And then all of the cable is braided. I like to do this kind of test. Better go back out for this one. It is a full 6 feet long. I know some people say, oh, it's 2 meters, except we cut off 8 inches in manufacturing. So somebody says here, Jeremy, I got to put you up here, man. The pointy end goes into the hole. Okay, don't get me kicked off Amazon yet. So Jonathan was saying, I was thinking about it, but it's more expensive than the 45 watt anchor brick. But again, your 45 watt anchor brick is not even going to charge a Lenovo at full speed, let alone a MacBook or anything else. So you can get away with one of these versus a lot of the other ones. So this is, again, USB Type-C cable. Goes into any of the Type-C ports. And now I've got a bunch of Android devices, tablets, Kindles, things like that. Doesn't matter what it is. The nice thing about the USB Type-C standard is that it's going to work with any sort of device back and forth. Now, it may not work at full speed or full power. That's one of the big problems. Or if you buy one of the cheaper cables, one of the dangers is it's not going to have cables that cords that are thick enough. So this thing's going to try to send 100 watts. Your cable's not going to do that. It's not going to work out. So again, that's an advantage here. So this is from Ugreen, a USB Type-C cable, full 6 feet, braided. These things don't start to look, ugly. That's the one nice thing about braided cables. If you're going to have a device for years and years and you're going to put a screen protector on your device, you're going to do all of that, why not spend a little bit more on your cable? So I'm going to save this for the next product that's coming out. I'll put that over to the side. And you're going to see why I did that here in a second. Oh, we got a couple people dropped in on Amazon. Thank you guys so much. If you're just tuning in on Amazon, this is John the Net Guy. This is Tech Day Live. We're doing a tech show where I'm showing you some cool stuff that products have sent out to me for you to check out. And we're going through them as quick as we can here tonight. I've got so much cool stuff to show you. This one is actually their Lightning version. So this is a high power Lightning charging cable. One of the problems with Lightning cables is if you get the cheap ones, they're not MFI certified from Amazon, so they're not going to work. You're going to get that weird message, this accessory is not supported. If they're built poorly, they're also going to wear out quickly. I joke because my wife likes to go shop at like discount stores for iPhone cables. I'll get into her car and I'll look at these garbage iPhone cables she's buying. And I know because we throw them out every 6 months. They will start to corrode literally on the ends. Let me show you this one. I'm going to show you this one up close because I want to show you why that's important. So here you go. There's the end, put in front of the camera lens, of the Lightning cable. And the contacts on this thing are awesome. So this is the last Lightning cable you need to buy, right? So again, metal housing around the edge. It's not very wide or large. That's what I actually like on this because a lot of times, like when I have my iPhones in cases, you can't fit them in there and charge, but that's what it looks like right there. Very good and clean contacts, and it's got a USB Type-C on the other end. Now that's important. Why is that important? Well, as we're switching over from USB-A to Type-C everywhere, you're going to need one of these cables. Now, I've seen more Type-Cs on newer devices, laptops. Even the new car we purchased has Type-C and then a Type-A. So the Type-As are going to go away pretty soon. But that's the Type-C on one end, and then it's going to have the Lightning connector on the other. Again, works very well with the Ugreen charging family. In this case, the iPhone could plug into the 22 watt port or either of the 100 watt ports. This is going to work with your iPhone 11, 12, 13, 14, so all of those. Again, plugs in even with my case on there. You can see that. Plugs in nicely. There's no fitment issues and can start charging it up. So that's from Ugreen. It is available right now for $14. It is on sale. Let me pull that up real quick for you. I'm just going to go back one page here. I'll turn this back on for you. So again, that's from Ugreen, and I appreciate them sending this out. This is the MFI certified, like I mentioned. Now there is a 5% coupon on it right now, so if you check that, you can get that. I believe there's even a 2-pack of these if you're interested in those. So you can get the 2-pack version. You can get a 3-foot. What I recommend the 3-foot for, honestly, is if you're in a car, like in a front seat of a car, you don't want 6 feet of cable. Same exact cable, it's just shorter in length. And they have a 10-foot. 10-foot is, I call it a nightstand cord, because it goes in your nightstand. I gave one of these to a relative of mine. Hopefully he's watching. Hi, Mike, if you are. I gave him a 10-foot cord because I wanted him to have one that gives him a little more mobility. So that's what you're getting there with the 10-foot. Again, super easy to use. Plug it in, and it's saying our iPhone 14 in 30 minutes with this cable that you have. Now, the cable doesn't make it charge faster, but the cable has to be rated high enough that you can charge at the highest rates. So that's what this one is offering you, is the highest rates. Ooh, and actually, so we're getting a little bit of leaks here. Jonathan says iPhone 15 will have Type C according to leaks. The iPad Mini had Type C, and I still can't understand why it had that. Raris comes in. He says, "Hey, I didn't know you realize you're going live tonight. What's up, everyone? It's been a while. I just happened to have the idea to go live. I wanted to see my peeps, and so we are here. We're just taking a look now at the iPhone Lightning connector." Again, part of that Ugreen charging and cable family. So I could literally be charging multiple devices, which is what I'm going to do here in a second to show you how this works. So we're going to put these off to the side. Then I'm going to bring up the next product, which is actually pretty cool. I got to bring it up in the carousel. Where did I put that carousel? Here at the bottom of the screen. Did it not get added? Oh, I know that product's in here. There it is. Okay, the next product is actually something I'm really excited about. This was sent out. Let me grab it from over here. From the, and you pronounce this for me, but the Oukitel company, that's what I'm going to call it, Oukitel. It is a ruggedized Android tablet, and I can't tell you how excited I am to have this tablet. Now, I was trying to get it connected through some screen mirroring and casting and some other issues. It just wasn't having any of it, honestly. So we're going to go the old-fashioned way. I'm going to show you the screen of it, and you can see how well it works. But again, from Oukitel, we're going to do an unboxing. This is an 8-inch Android tablet, and it's rugged. Now, I've unboxed it and set it up, but I want to show you what you get with this. It's going to have just a tear-off screen protector with some of the information about it. 5100 milliamp hour battery. It has 4 gigs of RAM inside of it to begin with, and it's got dual cameras, which I'm going to show you here in a second. So that's the device. What makes it rugged? Well, the case is built into it. When you get a Kindle or any of these other devices, you drop them, they're done. Like, you get one shot with them. This one, not only does it have a very strong, rugged outside appearance, it also is IP68 weatherproofed and IP69K mil-spec rated, apparently. I didn't get into the details on that. This is just a few of the things that are going on in my version of it. The screen on it, one of the things I can tell you, I don't even know if I have the screen. I don't have it at full brightness, but the screen on this thing is gorgeous. Now, I put in 2424, which is a standard code I use on all of my streams, just so I don't have to deal with you guys from a security perspective, so nobody thinks they've got the key to my front door. I was playing chess on this the other day earlier, but you can do all the standard Android applications. I've got my Twitter app. I've got my Kindle app. I don't know if you guys have seen Roberto Blake's new book. He's a cool guy on Twitter. Create Something Awesome. So I was just reading that here. So it's got the standard Kindle app. So you're going, okay, do I need this versus a Kindle? You can get one of these and have the same features that a Kindle would have. You can also do your audiobooks. Now, my daughter and I, when we went out skiing, we're catching up on a new audiobook. So this is, again, my library of audiobooks. One of them is called Project Hail Mary. I don't know if you can see that. So this has that audiobook capability from Audible. So we were able to do that. It's going to do all of the standard games and other things that an Android has. And this is also, I've been hiding this, this is mobile data compatible. So I've got mobile data on up here. I literally ran out last night. I picked up a T-Mobile SIM card with just a very small data plan to test it out. And this has an LTE 4G connection. So I don't think it's 5G. I don't think we're quite there yet. But at under $200, a fantastic value on this one. It's going to have all the other standard Android apps built in. It is running Android 12, which, from what I can tell, I'm not a big Android guy, looks to be the most current. I don't know if you guys are watching Star Trek Picard like I am, but one of the first things I downloaded on it was this Paramount app because I wanted to see my latest shows. Now, I'm going to just show you the screen on it. Again, it moves pretty quickly. I don't know on the core count on that. It does have 4 gigs of RAM, and you can add an additional 3 through some virtual memory capability. But there's my Star Trek Picard. This is the different episodes that are coming out. And I'll just play it. I'm not actually going to play the audio because I don't want to get myself in trouble and kicked off. But I just want to show you the screen there. So now that is already playing, on this. Now you can actually zoom in and you can change the aspect ratio. You can actually shrink it down and be working in other apps. So Android finally got the multitasking right here. So I can, use this video. I can have it playing back while I'm doing something else or watching another screen or another app. So that's a pretty cool feature. I can also toss that away. So I just wanted to show you that. One of the things that's really interesting to me, and why would you need a mil-spec rated hardened tablet? We're about to go into boating season, and I love boating. You want to take something to the lake with you that is not your main device, and you want to be able to use it. You want to catch up on your Facebook or your socials or anything to it. You can take this out on your boat. Now, this is a boating app. Now, unfortunately, my top-down camera is not capturing this as nice as I'd like. Let me see if I shrink into it, will it? There we go. So this is the Argo app. Now this takes quite a while to load. It's actually loading right now, and that's because it has this amazing capability. It's just logging in right now with my account. You can see again all of the other apps that I have loaded. It's going to have all of the standard stuff here. Hey, Hops and Brews, he's got a 7-day beer diet update. He's just putting that out there. But this is a navigation app for boaters, and you can see instead of worrying about my chart plotter ever going out, we're going to be going up here into the San Juan Islands on our big boat. I can go down here and I can say navigate. I can say I want to create a route, and I can say I want to go, and again this is kind of funny, but you can actually say I want to go from here. One of the nice San Juan Islands is called Susha up here, and I want to go up to Susha, and then I can say automatically route this. Now this one does have a GPS built in. So you're getting a tablet, 8-inch screen. It's going to be 1280 by 800. This is not even the highest brightness that this screen goes to. Like I said, 400 nits of brightness. So that's on full brightness now. Now you're saying, well, it didn't change much. Well, look how dark my hand is next to that. That camera's having to adjust way down. Now I could turn this way down as well, and you'll see that my hand lightens up. But that 400 nits of brightness, see how bright my hand is now comparative? That 400 nits of brightness is super important for outdoor use. So if you want something to use as a navigation display, I know a lot of people in vehicles, this is an 8-inch basically vehicle nav you can use. I want to use this boating because I can splash salt water on it. It's going to do nothing to it. So I want to bring this up real quick in the carousel. Phone, Jonathan's saying is iPhone 13, or sorry, Android 13 on his. Yeah, that on the Androids, the phones seem to be a little bit ahead. I'm going to bring this up now just because I want you guys to see the actual page for it, just to get a little bit closer view of it. I may even want to bring up their specific page. Give me 1 second. Now, it's got a really good rating overall anyway. You can see here, it's only got a couple because this is the new version of it. The RT3 is the model number on this one, I should say. So the RT3 here, let me show you a couple pictures. It comes in different colors. It has an orange color, it has a neon green, and it has this grayish black, which is what I've got. Honestly, I kind of like the grayish black for my purposes on this one. But again, don't have to worry about this. It's mil-spec rated. It's completely waterproof if the covers are closed. It has the ability for dual SIM cards, which is another capability that you want to have if you're traveling internationally or you have multiple accounts. Maybe you just want to use data up on one and then use your backup data. You can do that. Has a 5150 milliamp hour battery capacity. Let's talk about that. So what does that give you? 20 days of standby time. So if I leave this thing on the boat, I can still use it 20 days. 15 hours of calling. This is like the world's biggest cell phone. But in a pinch, you can make voice phone calls on it. You can also do text messaging with whatever text messaging plan you have. 5 hours of continuous video playback. So you think about it, most airlines, when you're flying coast to coast, it's about 5.5 hours. This is going to be a device that'll last the entire time without being recharged, and you can plug it in and get that additional power right back into it, and you won't lose anything. It's going to have 5 hours of game time. Now, I downloaded a game last night. I like chess, but I didn't think that that was going to be taxing it at all. So I downloaded a new Street Fighter game that apparently is all the rage. I haven't played it too much, but I will show you that real quick, because this thing does have a pretty good graphics capability within it, obviously. So we're going to go here. There's some server announcements. I'm going to start the game. Let's see. So this is their Street Fighter Duel app. So you can see screen quite bright. And again, when I go into this, it's actually going to be, so all of your Fruit Ninja people out there, everybody, it's going to have all of the standard stuff. Oh, they're taking me out here. I might actually lose my whole squad. Oh, nope, they got me down pretty bad. Oh yeah, I'm going to lose live on air. That's going to be great. I have one person left. Oh, she's got a special move, and that didn't do much at all. So yeah, I pretty much lost. So, but it's again going to have that graphical capability if you're going to play any sort of graphical games on it. And the Android platform, awesome capability. A lot of the Kindles don't do this; they're locked down. But this is going to allow you, because it's just wide open Android OS. You can pretty much sideload anything you want on it. So you're looking at that open source capability versus something like an iPhone or something else, which is kind of locked down here. Pinky Tech says, pro gamer. Yeah, he loses right on the first one. So just wanted to show that again. This is from the Alcatel company. It's going to come with a SIM card remover. I'm going to show you real quick where that goes and what it is. So in the top, there are two connections right here. There's one that says Type C. That's your charging connection, and I plugged it in and it charged fairly quickly. 5100 amp hours is not a ton, but again, this thing's not very heavy and it's very durable. So that's what they're going for, So it's a very large phone if you think of it that way. And then it's going to have on this side a kind of a unique port. It's going to come with this special key, and this key's got two features on it. Let me pull that out there. So there's a very small hole in here. When I push that, it's going to come out with my SIM card tray, and it's upside down. And I'm going to hide the number on here. But that's my SIM from T-Mobile there. That's giving me my mobile data, and I can put that right back in. Now you can put a micro SD in it as well as a SIM, or you can put two SIMs, but you can't put both. So I just want to point that out for you guys. So I'm closing that back in. Now my T-Mobile account's active. Let's do some speed tests here. We'll see how good my internet is. Okay. And we're going to open the speed test app. So right now I am on Wi-Fi as well as mobile data. So we're going to bring up speed test. You're going to get to see, hopefully not my IP address, but it probably will. Don't hack me. So here we go. So there it is. It's going to run on Ziply Fiber. Oh, it crashed on that one. That was definitely that app. Let's see if it goes. It worked great yesterday, of course. You may just go to the backups here. Let's get it going. Here we go. So hopefully you guys can see that. So this is over Wi-Fi. Now I upstairs next to my higher speed Wi-Fi got over 250 megabits there on my Wi-Fi here. So definitely has good Wi-Fi capability. You can also, there's my upstream. So I'm on a slower Wi-Fi connection down here in my basement. Another thing I can do is I can turn that Wi-Fi off. Now we're at the mercy of T-Mobile, but this is where I was going to tell you about the LTE capability. So now T-Mobile USA, I'm actually using mobile data here. Not going to be very fast at all, I'm guessing. Yeah, I got a metal roofed house, so it's about I got about 14 megabits max outdoor. So, LTE 4G speeds. Another really neat thing, and I'm super excited about this, is going to be a lot of the features that it has here for hotspotting. So I can turn my hotspot on my boat, and use the data on this. So this basically creates a hotspot that I can use all of that T-Mobile data when I want to use it. So that's some cool capability. Let's get back out here. It does have 2 cameras. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Let me see. I could probably show you the cameras honestly better this way. So it's going to have a 16 megapixel front camera. It's auto focusing. You can see it focusing on my face there. It's got plenty of different modes. The one my wife likes for me, beautify, smooths the skin out, makes me look even better, you know. It is going to have that selfie capability. I can switch this around, and now you can see I'm taking a selfie with it. And that selfie is going to be down to 8 megapixels, but it still has that capability. I can also go over to video mode, and I can take a video with that front-facing camera. So a lot of times people on tablets, they're kind of, you know, against having really high-res cameras. I actually like it. I know my uncle, he was actually taking a tablet out in the field. He was able to take pictures with this. You know, that was another capability that was kind of cool. Take pictures with his phone. So I think, you know, cameras are here to stay in our electronic devices. Very cool to have. Just checking the chat, see if there's any questions on this one. So again, you know, it's going to have that mil-spec rating, the dust-proof, waterproof, all that. I'm going to show you how it works over here with this charger. So I can take this charger that we just got from Ugreen, I'm going to plug it in, and we're going to charge this thing up at the highest speeds. So again, this is that, make sure I get the right end. That's the Lightning one. So I'm going to charge the Show iPhone right here with the Lightning one. So that's one device that's charging over there. And this is the beauty of that 4-port charger. This one you just charge right from the top. You can flick your cover off. Now, I don't think it's waterproof with the covers open. That's one of the dangers here when you have these covers open. So almost all the time you have to charge. So now, okay, it's already charging there. And if I turn it off, this is kind of cool. Usually it'll show charging when it's off here. But yeah, both of these devices are now charging from that Ugreen charger we took a look at earlier. And I still have 2 more ports. Now, depending on how you sort these, I could actually charge my MacBook and one other device, and it'll split the power correctly for whatever device. It won't overload at all, and it's nice and cool still. So taking a quick look at the chat, I don't see anybody asking any questions on this one. But again, that's from the Oukatel company. This is the RT3 tablet, their latest generation of a ruggedized tablet. So very cool. Glad to see that one. We're going to keep moving along here. Got a couple more cool products to show you here. Let me go through the list real fast. Take a break for just 1 second. So let me know in the chat if you guys want to. Anything really cool that's been going off since I've been around in the last couple months. Let me know if you've done anything pretty interesting. I see, Michael, you had a question. Is the thing fast? From an Android tablet perspective, that's always a double-edged sword, right? Like I said, it's very responsive for me. Let me pull this top-down view for you. So again, when I'm looking at stuff, you know, it's going to open up. Navigation within it is very fast. Android is also, you know, the more apps you have open, the worse it's going to perform, more memory-intensive stuff. So I've had all of those apps open, as you know. So again, pretty simple, easy to use. Will it load? Will it run fast? You know, I think so. Again, opening a new app, there's Audible. That's just a simple, you know, app. It's going to take a few seconds, but that's Android time. Once you have it open, obviously you can multitask that way, take screenshots. There is a capability down here to clear memory. So I've got this compressed memory mode going. So it's saying I got 1.6 free out of 4, and I can do plus 3 gigs there. I can bring up Twitter. Hopefully I don't get kicked off. But, you know, and I'm on the, oh, actually that's the other thing. I'm not even on Wi-Fi, so it's having to load and do all that stuff. So there's some Twitter stuff there, all my friends' dinners and whatnot. So all in all, navigation is snappy on it. I would say, you know, it definitely works and definitely moves. Price on this one is $189. Let me pull that up real quick. Great question on that. Thanks for the lead in there. Asking the tough question, what's the price on it? So it's $209 for this device, minus 20%, or sorry, $20 right now. So it's $189 for this device. Again, you're getting something that's got the dual SIM cards. You're getting an 8-inch waterproof tablet that's already ruggedized. One other thing I didn't mention, I was driving back last night from T-Mobile. I had it on the seat. I took a corner, maybe a little fast. This thing flew off, hit my door, went underneath my seat. I had to take like 5 minutes to dig it out from where it went in. Not a scratch on it, which I thought was really cool. The other thing, and I'm going to show you here on this side screen, hopefully this will come through. Let me turn this off for just a second. It comes with a screen protector pre-installed, no bubbles at all. You can see kind of that cutout around the glass. You can get additional screen protectors. So if you have an auto shop, that was a Master Tech was asking about that. If you got an auto shop, you get things dirty all the time. This is a great option if you need something that's Android, drop tested, and super durable. So another great feature. Excellent question here. Pinky's got some, oh, he says nice view angles too. Yeah, the screen on it is actually very, very bright. So if you are a Master Tech and you are working out in the field and you need to, do stuff under bright sunlight, that 400 nit screen definitely shone through. That was the most exciting thing for me. Americans giving us a hard time. Is this the channel? That's coming up, American. I'm giving you like pre-access to some things that are on their way. We do have a pretty cool night vision set coming here. So I'm going to put this back out here for a second, and we're going to kick on to some of the next products that we have coming up, which are just as cool. But yeah, a ruggedized Android tablet. You never know when you need that, but that's what we got. I'm going to need a bigger studio if we keep doing this. Pinky Tech says he moved into his new basement office / studio. Another great YouTuber there that's got a new studio. I love to see that stuff that he's going to be creating in his new studio. And Daniel L., thank you so much for the follow. I forgot to ask that, but if you're following me, that is awesome. I really do appreciate that. I do have a couple really interesting products to show you. All of the products tonight, I believe, are sent in by manufacturers, so I'll have to just do a disclaimer there. So these are considered sponsored reviews. There is one product that I'm also excited to use on that boat. It's been sitting behind me the whole time, and it's actually just this little water bottle. But this little tiny water bottle has an amazing secret up its sleeve, and I'll show you what that is here as we go to the top-down view. So this is the Per Super Company, but if you guys can read that, you'll guess what its secret power is. It says 120 for milk, 160 for tea, 195 for coffee, and 212 for boil. Well, what does that mean? I'll show you. I'm going to open it up. One of the things I love about this is that it has that stainless steel inside. It's going to have the 316 stainless. You can see that marking there with a max line. There's water, and there's that little tiny probe at the bottom. Well, what is that little tiny probe? That's a temperature probe, and because this, I'll get it up here, we'll open it up this way. This is an electric kettle. This thing plugs in, and it actually heats your water, coffee, whatever, all the way to boiling. I was actually able to use this earlier today to make ramen noodle soup. Now, I didn't make the soup in this. I made the water in this. They're very clear about that. One of the things I love about this is if you look at a lot of the other electric kettles, which I think every house should have an electric kettle now for heating water. If you look at all the other electric kettles out there, they're all 1,000, 1,500 watts. This one is rated at 300 watts. I tested it out at 350 watts. So that's what its draw is going to be. But watch this. I can plug this in now. We're going to make tea in it off to the side here. Let's see if I can get this off here. There we go. So we're going to make tea in this thing. Now, you can see the screen on it. What I do is I just tap what I want. So tap right here. I'm going to have to try to do this blindfolded and backwards. Okay, so there is 120. That would heat to 120. I can hit it again and go up a higher. So 160. Again, 195. All the way up to 212. Now, it's a regular 120 volt AC line plug-in. But let's do this. I want 160 degree tea. I'm going to move this out back here. I'm going to open it up. Now you can boil with the cover closed. I would recommend that. And it has little vents on the side that it's going to let any sort of vapor out. I'm going to grab the tea bag. I'm going to drop it in here just so that it starts to perk a little bit. You could wait till it's totally perked, but I'm going to have a nice 160 degree tea here in just a little bit. I'm going to put that off to the side. So again, this is the mini kettle, BPA free. We're going to let it start. Now, somebody's going to naturally ask, how long does this take to boil at 300 watts? Well, it takes 4 times longer than it would at 1200 watts. It takes about 7 minutes from nothing to get to boiling. Oh, I just hit the button. There we go. So we're going to 160. Now it's going to sit there and spin. You're going to see that spin around. That means it's heating. I can feel a little bit of warmth already. The nice thing about it is once it's done, maybe you're heating up that coffee, maybe you're heating up that tea. You unplug this, cover the port on the bottom, and you go. It also has a sipping lid right on the top there. So you open it up, got a little vented lid. So there you go. I can actually, I can already hear it starting to get that water hot in here. Now it's going to make a noise and beep when it's ready. So we'll have a notification when that's ready. It will allow me to move on to other products if I want. I do want to show you the guide here real quick. Let's do this camera, it'll probably be best. So there's the usage information guide. Now it's saying not to submerge this. You know, again, cleaning is going to be very simple on it. And where's the no noodles one? Because that one got me. I was like, oh, you could totally make top ramen in this, but it does say not to stick anything in this but fluid. Okay, yeah, there's the no noodles right there. So it doesn't want you to do that. So just some basic precautions here. Avoid coming into contact when the water is boiling at the top. And it wants you to wait after you got it boiling, wait a couple minutes before you open the lid. That's obviously just safety there. But here you go. So this thing is actually heating up. I don't know if you can hear it. Oh, I see I hit the button too when I did it, which turns it off. But it's on its way to heat up to that 160. And then in just a few more minutes, we're going to have nice hot tea. So there you go. I'm going to go on to the next product. When that gets done, we'll come back to it and we'll check out and see how it's doing. Jonathan's calling me the coffee lover here. I do love me some coffee, but I also love me some tech. Let me pull out some nerdy stuff for you guys here. Oftentimes, I'm working on laptops. I love laptop screwdrivers. You know, Linus Tech Tips, you can have all the debates you want about the quality of his screwdrivers. I have shown you guys other screwdrivers on here. I've got a pair of Phantix screwdrivers. They're pretty good. The reason I have two of them is one of them broke. And the Phantix company was nice enough to send me another one out. But right now, for your viewing pleasure, I received, and if I can find it, that would be even better, from the Aeromax company, I received their electric screwdriver. They reached out, they saw my Phantix review, and they reached out and said, hey, can we send you this for a fair and honest review? I said, absolutely. I said, does it have a flashlight? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, well, does it do this? Does it do that? We talked through it, and they said, let me send you both of our most popular screwdrivers. I'm like, okay, that would be cool. So let's do a quick top-down unbox, and then we're going to take a laptop apart with this. This is from Aeromax. This is their mini version. And, you know, when I think of mini, don't think of, like, not capable, because this one is highly, highly capable. Oh, our tea is already done. We'll come back. Now, it's going to keep that tea warm over there. This is the instruction manual that comes with it. It has a ton of capability, but we're going to put that off to the side just so I can show you it. One thing, when you open one side, that's going to be the USB Type-C charger. So it's USB-A to USB-C. So you're going to get the charging cable. It doesn't come with an exact charger. It just comes with the cable. Now I'm going to open this side up, and you're going to see it. Now, it's got a really cool window already that shows you the new screwdriver there. It is not very big. Like I said, don't have huge hands, but that's a little bit longer than a finger and just about as thick. Look at that thing. That is pocket size, but check that out. It's got, they're calling it dynamic lighting, so you can see when you're screwing or unscrewing something in, that little tiny light moves. But it also has lights. So this is their mini version. Now don't rush out and buy them all because there is two tonight. The Max one that's coming up next is also very good, the Pro. But you put in Phillips or whatever head that you want. Now this is the case, but it also is the magnetizer. So you can decide if you want it magnetic or not. This little tiny magnet here, if you rub it a few times over like that, you're magnetizing that bit. Now I can come down to the keyboard here, for example. And I got to get this thing closer. I got to get on a side camera because, well, there you go. So it's already pulled that screw out, right? So if you've ever had to work on this, like HP model laptops, so you can do this. It's automatically going to whatever speed that it needs to go. So that one's a captive one. Now you might need to twist a little bit to break up the heavier ones. It's only single speed here, but then you can see it. You see it spinning around. Now I can both drill in and out, and like I said, it has that light. The studio is very bright, so you don't see how valuable that light is. but this light can be super duper valuable. So let's talk a little bit about all of the different bits you get. It comes in this case. There's your standard Phillips. You're going to be your standard slotted. Looks like those are hex. It's going to have on the back side your Torx bits. And on the Max one, it has security Torx. Looks like the Mini does too. It's got a tri-Y, a pentalobe. Yeah, so it's got all your standard screwdrivers. It goes down to like Phillips 00, I believe is what 000. So you've got a very tiny, I don't even know if I can show a 000 Phillips, what that looks like. It is a Phillips that is so small, you would be almost for eyeglasses. And you don't have to use it. If you want to use for eyeglasses, you don't have to use the power assist. You can just use this like a normal screwdriver. So this again is from Aeromax. It's going to have all of those different bits. Very easy to charge too. So charging is just accomplished right on the back. Now they actually do have the USB charger, but they also have a charger that you can set some of the higher end models in that will charge while it's sitting on your desk. So if you're really into this, what I do like about it though, again, fits in just like that. I love the carrying case, and it's very durable. So you can carry cloth-sided ones if you want. This one, to me, very durable. If you're throwing this and this is kicking around in your bag, it's going to work really well. But I do like the addition of that little window. So very cool. Are those standard bit sizes? They look small. That's a great question from American. They are smaller than your standard quarter bits. And that's what I've seen on all of these, is none of them use the very large one. And honestly, it's just because, and somebody can probably look it up and see exactly what it is on their site. But that's just because with the lights here, there would be no room to have a full size. So it's not 1/8, at least I don't think it's 1/8, but yeah, it's probably smaller, you know, for sure. Maybe 3/16 for the base. But there you go. That's what it looks like. So we're going to check the next one out here. We'll do an unbox on it. And that is the slightly bigger brother to this one. So this one, I'll read off the specs real fast for you. It comes with 28 bits. It's going to have a rotational speed of 200 revolutions a minute unloaded. Its maximum torque is 1.5 kilograms per centimeter. You guys can figure that out for the American system. And this says it's going to charge in 50 minutes. So not a ton of battery on this one too. Battery capacity is 350 milliamp hours. But I need to show you the next one because, again, they sent me 2 of these. So that's a great portable one. I could see leaving that in your bag. This next one from Aeromax is the Pro version. And you know what? I need to tag these in Amazon so people can actually see what we're doing right here. So that's the first one. I'm going to go to the next one, which is the Pro version. And thank you if you're on Amazon watching or on any of the services. This is John the Net Guy. This is Tech Day Live. We're checking out tech. Normally does on Tuesday, but I'm opening it up to the rest of the days of the week sometime when we have to. I'm just going to show you real quick the difference between the Pro and the Mini. So this is the Aeromax SES Pro, and very similar to the Mini, but it's got a very special feature of that. It's going to have 34 bits. It's going to have more battery life. So more bits, more battery. It's going to have all of those security bits we talked about. There's your pentalobes. It's got 3 of those. It's going to have your security Torx. So a couple extra of the non-standard. You're going to go through the standards more than anything. It's got some square drive bits, which is pretty cool. Some of your standard hex. But let me show you the big feature on this one. Now it's rechargeable. It has an OLED screen. Who needs organic LED, right? So OLED screen on this. But what's kind of cool about it is I'll turn it on. And again, it's really real hard to focus on that. Hopefully my camera will play nice this time. So it's just got the screw, and then it's going to have a number or a letter. Now, I think I have to triple click this or hold it if I did it right. Let's see. I did this earlier. So triple click, and then I can change it between A. Let's get this on the screen for the review. So A, 1, 2, 3, 4, or back to A. A is for automatic mode. Let me show you what this thing does. So it's going to have a lot more torque than the other one. I'm going to grab a screw that hasn't been taken out. I'm going to push down on the button, but you'll notice one difference. It only has one button to push. So I'm going to put it on the screw. I'm going to push on the button, and I'm just going to turn. And it will literally take this screw out. Now I'm going to do this again on the side camera just so you can see. Let me pull this up here because this is so cool. it doesn't matter which direction you want to use this. So here we go. I'm putting it in. I'm going to try to do this so you can see the screen on it. I'm going to push it and I'm going to turn. And now it's screwing it in a forward direction, and it's going to stop automatically. So that number, when I triple click it, are the force levels. So I'm going to go down to 4, which I'm hoping is the highest force. And then, yeah, it stopped. So there it's there. I can go backwards at 4. It's a lot slower. Let's see. And I did not magnetize this one. So that's one of the interesting things. Same technique here. So if I take it and I want to magnetize the bit, I just put it on here, wipe back and forth a few times on this very powerful magnet they include in the case. And I can come back over here to this donor machine, and there we go. Magnetically remove the screw. And again, this one, I can hit the button all I want. The screw's not going to turn. It's because it has this automatic sensor as to which way you're going. So you don't need to fumble between the buttons. You just have to hit the button. When you start to turn, it's going to detect which way you're turning. Let me show you the screen here. Hope you can see that. So I'm going to start turning, and it's saying, hey, you're turning that way. If I hold it again, I turn the other way. Yeah, I tried to trick it here. It says, hey, you're turning that way. And it starts to turn that way. So yeah, very cool feature on the SES Max, which is one of their nicer versions of a powered electric screwdriver. So there you go, the Pro Max there. And what's interesting compared to, again, I'll pull the other one out here, a little bit larger in size, but that's also going to give you a couple extra features. So there is next side by side. Let's see if I can get my fingers out of the way. There is going to be your mini and your Pro versions of this. And so they fit in there. They do also on this one have the flashlight capability. So again, you can use this just as a diagnostic flashlight in there. And this one again has the automatic detection of the direction that you're turning. Now I kind of tricked it as I was just sitting here doing that, because it uses an accelerometer to figure out what you're trying to do, I guess. I was reading about it earlier. So very cool additions to the little tech collection here. Again, these are them side by side on the top-down rig, so you can see them. And there's the difference, again, in size. They both have that flashlight capability. This one's got that fully automatic direction with the accelerometers, and this one has the remove and forward, so back and forward capability. Both from the Aeromax company. Let me go ahead and pull them up on the show page because I want to show you that. So we're going to look at the show page, and then we're going to go to our last couple of products. So you're going to pull them up here. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to start with the Pro. Oh, actually I went to the Mini first. Sorry about that. So I'm going to start with the Mini. It's $49.99 minus a 20% coupon on there. So that was exciting to me. Let's take a couple quick look here. It does have that magnetic case that we talked about, so you can do that. Very, very easy to use. And if you're taking out HP laptops, taking them apart, do yourself a favor, get one of these because you'll save yourself a ton of wrist action here. There's the reverse and the forward buttons that we were talking about. And these are all the various things you might use it on: drones, electronics, eyeglasses, MacBooks, and so on. So that is, again, from Aeromax, which is a pretty cool option here. Let me pull up the other one. Now, this is the Pro version, one I just showed you. And if I pull that up real quick, so there, it's going to have a lot more bits. You can see the collection of bits that it has. It has that OLED screen, which actually looks really sharp in person. Unfortunately, it's not going to look great on these little studio cameras that I have. Same kind of thing about the bit holders. It does have additional few bits. They're all USB Type-C charging. They come with a Type A to C, but anywhere you've got a Type-C charger, maybe the Ugreen one I showed you earlier, this would work well for them. So another interesting thing about these is they're not rounded. They're actually more of a square profile in them. Let's see if I can pull that up to you on the little side. So they're more of a square. Well, what's that going to do? It's going to keep them from rolling around. Some of the other screwdrivers I've shown to you, they'll roll around here on the desk and they'll get all out of sorts. This does not do that. And it does have that see-through case, which is another cool advantage there. So that's the see-through case on there. So that's the Aeromax, the Pro, and the regular. I do have a couple more products that I'm going to show you tonight. This one coming up first is actually going to be really interesting. Let me pull that up here. Just to show you what this is, it's actually a huge clock. Who needs a huge clock in their life? This guy. I do church tech with one of the other people that's on the show today. I can see him in the chat. And so, when would you need a very large clock? Well, if you're doing anything, whether it's a sporting event, any sort of production, having a very large clock is good to keep people in line, to kind of keep yourself in line. If you're doing a live stream, where I can actually see myself using this is up on that wall over there. It has a bunch of different modes, which I'm going to talk about here in just a second, which are going to be really helpful for me. Speaking of keeping on track and on time, which I plan to use it for. So let me pull this out here real quick. Before I do that, I want to finish up this tea. So this is now complete. This is our 160 degree tea, and it's sitting there keeping it at temperature. So this is from the Per Super company. I'm going to open it up, show you the inside. But I'm not kidding. Hopefully, yeah, there's condensation in there. So let's see. So, oh, you can see that. You can't even see the steam though, I don't think, but it's got some steam coming out of it. And you can hear it, is my guess. Yeah, so there you go. So that is going to be your portable beverage kettle. Now what's cool about this, like I said, is once you get this ready in the morning, you have your tea bag in there, take the tea bag out, you can close this and now it becomes an insulated travel mug. There's a waterproof cover for the little electrical connection right there. It's white. You wouldn't even know if I handed you this. It's so light that you wouldn't even know that this was actually an electric kettle. Now, I'm going to try not to burn myself. Let me open this up. But you can drink right through the top if you want. Okay, not going to burn myself. That's good. So it will do down to 160 degrees. That was one thing that I wanted to show you guys. So it'll do all the way down to, 120 degrees at the low. That's like hot cocoa temperature. They're calling it milk. So that would be, to me, hot cocoa. 160 to 195, that's coffee, tea temperature. I like my coffee at like 135 normally. And then it'll actually boil water that you can use. You can't put your ramen noodles in this, but you can actually heat up water for ramen noodles. I wish I had that video because it is so funny that I did that earlier. Let me pull up here. I want to show you the volume measurements on it real quick. Get back over here and I'll turn this on. So there's the portable kettle, 316 stainless. It's going to be 450 milliliters of capacity. Somebody that knows translations, make that in ounces. I think it's going to be about 16 ounces. We'll see. So there we go. Boiling is only 400 milliliters because it is going to do a little bit more. If you are above 1,000 meters or 3,300 feet, they don't want you to use this one only because I'm sure it's not calibrated for that. So it's saying about 6 minutes to a fast boil. I put some cold water in it and it was about 7 when I did the test on it, but again, wasn't in a lab condition here. There's some basics about it. It does have these steam vents so you can boil water without the lid open, and then you can just take it with you. So that's pretty cool. So compared to a lot of its competitors, one thing I like about this, again, it's going to be about 40% of the volume of a full-size kettle or less, is the fact that I can take this on my boat with me. So I have an inverter on my boat. It's 1,000 watts. I can't run any of those other really large kettles, but I'm super excited about this because I can plug this in at night, not have to start the engine on the boat, not have to do anything. I can just run off the inverter and I can make coffee, tea, anything at night. So very exciting. And that's the Per Super company. So that's all done. I'm going to put this off to the side. I'll finish that later. And I'm going to show you, again, all that there is to know about this next clock. Now, we just added a clock at our church. It's one of the things I wanted to pick up for the back of our sanctuary. What's interesting is, again, when you're trying to do a production, you're trying to keep people on time, having a clock that's analog and this big. Again, I was talking on Twitter today to people. I said, are analog clocks really dead? Because it's hard to use them, from a distance. And I hate to say it, we were teaching my 6-year-old homeschooling today, and it's like, is the analog clock finally dead? Maybe it is. So let's get on the top down here, and I'm going to show you what's inside this. This comes in many different colors. I just happen to have the white color edition here. It's going to have a full calendar capability. It's going to have Fahrenheit and Celsius conversion. You can mount it on a desk or a wall. It works really well. It has a count up and count down timer. That can be really cool if you're doing, like I said, any sort of production. Really super easy to use manual here. It's going to have all of the different controls that you can use. It's going to have a remote control. So if you mount this thing way up on a wall, you don't have to worry about it. The remote is actually going to be available, and you can set alarms on this. It has an hourly chime, which has sound. You can turn that on or off, which is kind of cool. It also has a backup memory battery just in case, for some reason, you lose power. Let me bring this out a little bit. Just in case you might happen to lose power, it's going to have that backup battery to keep the time on the clock, and then you have to climb up and reset it. So this is the remote for it. Pretty straightforward. It's going to have brightness controls. This thing gets very bright. That's another really nice thing to have. You can have digital clocks, but they're not bright enough. Also going to have a volume adjustment here. Hopefully you guys will be able to see that. Let's do a quick unbox. You can, like I said, wall mount this seamlessly, or you can prefer to desk mount it. Inside this bag is also going to be a mounting template. So if you're going to put it up on a wall, you just carry this up the ladder with you. You drill 2 holes, and at that distance apart, looks like 275 millimeters, maybe 74. And you'll have it ready to mount. So that's what comes with it. I'm going to go ahead and take off for the first time the cover. Oh, I gotta peel this. Okay, cover is away. I have actually been using it yesterday with the cover on, so I'm sure it's going to be even brighter here. So you can kind of see the faint outline of maybe the digits here. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. The AC adapter, for those that are curious, is 12 volts, 1 amp. So if maybe you have a 12 volt supply already, maybe you're using this portably, maybe an RV or something, it'll actually work. American, oh, he just checks in way too late with these. Says, use that to make some hot toddies for snowboarding. I think he's talking about the kettle, not the clock. But yes, absolutely. I love that idea for that kettle because it will work with inverters, you know. That would be pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this thing in real quick. It's just a regular US wall power supply. It is not necessarily battery powered, but it does have a battery to remember the time. Now, there's a area over here where you can actually put the power to the board. You can loop extra cable if you want to have a very clean install, which I like. This is also where you set the batteries. Now, let's say you lost the remote. You can do all of the settings along the side with the alarm. So maybe somebody's got some vision problems. Check that out. That's like the world's biggest alarm clock. You know what I need? Somebody snap this for Discord. I'm going to need this as a Flavor Flav clock. I just need a gold chain, and I'm going to hook this. I'm going to walk around with it and the 12 volt battery. But there you go. So Tuesday, 7/12. You can see a little bit of reflectivity in it now. Very, very bright. Now, it has capability to do auto brightness. Maybe this is somewhere where it's not as bright. Now, you can see it's doing PWM, that pulse width modulation. So to me, it looks great. So now to you, it looks solid. When I turn it down, it just looks kind of like it's flickering. In person, it looks great. It's just dimmer. Again, that's just my camera frame rate messing with it right now. But yeah, so very bright capability. It does have a mount here. I'm going to just put it out, and then I'm going to lay it on the desk, and then I'm going to go over to this camera so we can play with it together. So there's, hopefully you guys can see that. So there's the clock right there. Now I can go through. That's like Ave Maria, I think. But you can adjust that. You can mute it. You can also go in to set the alarms. So you can set when you want to have an alarm or no alarm at all. You can go ahead and set a timer, and we can start the timer. We can reset it. It does have lap capability, so the timer is both count up and count down capable. Actually, you might be able to see both of these if I do that. Oh, no, it's out of the way, so you won't get to see it on that. Just wanted to show you again on this side what that looks like. So that's the timer. What I found that's kind of neat is you can actually exit the timer. You can go back to the overview of the time, and you can come back to the timer and it's still running, which is another great feature. So maybe you need to start on a certain time and then you want to have a run of show time. This would work out for both of those. So very cool capability here. If I get back out there, you're going to see that it's going to cycle automatically through the date and the temperature. If I set this, I can actually change the temperature between Fahrenheit and Celsius automatically. So the temperature meter is in here. It's actually external to the unit, which I thought was cool. Let me show you where that is. So temperature probe, the thermistor is right there, and it's sticking out of the unit. I love that because I'm tired of like electronics or billboards or stuff that are getting their temperature from inside the billboard, and it's like, 100 degrees out, it says, and it's not. So yeah, that you can set the time really easy. It's got English. It's got the daylight savings time on. It's going to have the year, month, and day. So it's going to go through all those. It's going to pick the date automatically because of that. And then it's going to let you set your time. So very easy to use. There's the remote control up close, so you can see all the features that it has. And then you can go through and adjust the timers, the minutes, the seconds. You can also do 24-hour time. So for my military buffs out there, I got to share this with you. Pinky says, don't burn yourself. It's against terms of service. There's a lot of terms of service that are probably out there that I break. But there you go. So that is going to be this very large clock. 16.5 inches, it says, is the overall size on this clock. I'm guessing a diagonal measure, but we'll see. But overall, that's my hand. It's going to have at least 7-inch top to bottom. I believe maybe 6.5 for the letters. But there you go. So pretty cool capability there. That is, again, pronounce this for me if you want. That the X-Rex company, and I'll pull that up here real quick so you guys can see the Amazon listing on it. 506. So not a bad rating on 506 reviews. There are multiple colors. They got a blue, a green, red, pink, and red here. So it's got a pink and a red. I've seen this actually used in some people's TV rooms, because you know how late it gets and you forget and you're watching your show and you're binge watching. This kind of keeps you honest here. Remote works 23 feet away, 6.5 foot power cord. And there's the different modes that it's got. 4 different brightness levels versus auto dimming. So there you go. I'm going to check the chat, make sure there's no questions on this one. Who wants me to do a couple more products? We got one more product that I could see doing real quick here. And it actually is a really neat product if you're looking for something for entertainment. And then we'll wrap the show up. Let me put this clock out of the way. I'm going to put it in the background just to really mess with my editors, because then they're going to wonder why there's this clock in my video. So we'll do that. Again, it's going to have a user manual with the clock if you need that. And I'm going to go ahead and put the remote over there. Just checking in. Rickety Cricket is asking some questions on the Amazon side. I wish I could say what I think on Amazon sometimes to the visitors, I should say. So that's the clock. I am going to do one more quick demo for you guys, and this is just because it's a cool product from Bigasu. This is a Wi-Fi projector. Now it's going to have 5G Wi-Fi, so you're not on just the 2.4 plan. If you want to do streaming to it, it's going to have 5G capability. Let me get over here real quick. You'd have the right page up for this one. If you're looking at the show page, it's from right here. Now, $279, but today there's $110 off on it. So you check that coupon, you got $110 off, $169. Now, lumen output, 560 ANSI lumens is probably the only projector that's being honest with its ratings, because I've seen like 9,000 lumens and I've tested these projectors, and I don't know what lumen they're measuring, like in front of the light bulb 1 centimeter away, but 560 is probably right. Again, it has 4K support, but it's really downsampling your 4K to 1080. The 1080 looks good. I'm going to go ahead and bring the unit out here. I do happen to have a video I can roll for you on this one. I will be here the whole time, right here on the side. But I actually just finished the intro to a video on this. And let me get that started here.
Hey, welcome everyone. It is John the Net Guy.
And actually, I'm going to turn the volume off, and I'm just going to walk you through it myself on here. So I'm going to do the unboxing for you on this one. This is when I originally got it, what it looked like. And yes, my lips aren't matching that guy's lips because he's just, better looking than I am, apparently. So I'll open this one while we're at it just so I can show you a little bit. But inside this video, I actually have a demo of the unit itself, which is pretty slick. And hopefully that's not playing audio, but let me know if it is. Shouldn't be. Apparently I didn't edit that video down as tight as I thought I did. Let me go ahead and bring that down a little bit. So there's what you get. If we open it up real quick, you're going to see right there, you get this really nice carrying bag. Now, some of these did not come with bags. This one does. It's going to have a manual, the power cable, the works with it. It does have stereo speakers built into it. It has Bluetooth capability. It has AirPlay, Miracast, all the different casting capabilities. So for $169.99 right now, you're getting a projector. 560 ANSI lumens doesn't sound like a lot, but some of the other projectors have 100 or less for these mini projectors. What I love about this thing is that it has 3 distinct HDMI inputs in it, has dual USB as well, and then it's going to be an analog adjustment for the video. So I just cleaned that there, but there's an analog adjust on the video, and I'm going to take us a little bit further forward in here just so you can see. There's the test screen. So this does have a remote control that you can use to adjust it, but another thing I love about it is all of the buttons are right here on the back side of the unit as well. So it's zipping forward here. It's still catching up, it says. I have never tried to play a 7-minute video through, there we go. Oh, we don't want you to show me my password. Clearly, I'm just showing you some B-roll footage. So that is on a 10-foot screen. So this was me playing God of War on a PlayStation 5 plugged into the projector. The room's not very dark, but it's definitely playable. The camera doesn't do it justice, honestly, but very, very playable here. I actually did a review video for the screen itself that you're seeing it against, and I included this footage of it. But yeah, you can see here, very good frame rate on this. I don't know if it's 60 hertz, but it definitely felt good. I didn't notice any sort of lagging or ghosting or anything like that from it. So definitely works really well. It's coming out at 1080p. It goes from 4K and it downsamples, like I said. But pretty cool features there. Let me just give you a close-up view. That's going to be a full video that'll come out soon, but I want to show you the inputs on this thing. So there is the 3 distinct HDMI. It is going to have the older AV inputs if you really want that. So you can go to the AV mode. Also has headphone modes. Maybe your kids are sitting in the back playing a video game in the back of the room next to the projector, and they want to plug in direct. You can do that. Another interesting thing I'll mention is, it's going to have this cover for the lens. Be very careful with it. These lenses now, these LED bulbs that are in these, last forever. So you almost replace the whole projector, not the bulb. It's going to have a focus wheel here. And like I said, this is an analog adjust. You can see it there. And so as I hit the focus, you're going to see this thing move in and out. So let's see if I can do this real quick. So see how it's moving back into the thing. So for portability, you're going to move it that way. This will work just a couple feet away from a wall, and you get a smaller screen but a lot more brightness. Or you move way back. I had to move like to the other side of my room to get the full 10-foot projection. They say this will do up to like 300 inches of projection, which I wouldn't recommend normally, but definitely a very cool projector overall. 10 ratings on this one. Again, I think they're 4.7, which is actually really good. You come through here. It does have the dual Wi-Fi, and I actually have that capability in mine to do the AirPlay. So the menu system on it, dead simple to use. Walk through. You can go from AirPlay. You can do the Miracast, like I said. So if you've got a tablet like that one I showed you earlier, you can cast from the tablet through the projector up on the screen, and now have up to 300-inch screen, I think is what it's going to say here. 300 inches would be fairly low brightness. You'd need a very dark room, but that would work really well. One thing that I do need to point out here, Netflix, Hulu, Prime, and those kind of things don't necessarily work through the app if you're going to screen mirror. So AirPlay and a lot of those other ones will actually block screen mirroring on it just because of copyright issues. But there's a very simple way around that. I'm going to show you that right now, which is right here. This is one of the things I was going to use earlier. This is a Fire TV stick. Fire TV 4K. I can literally just plug it right into the side of this unit and then use my remote control, and I can control my content. And I can watch anything, even HDCP protected content, through my Fire TV stick right there. So that's pretty cool. Again, this is from the Big Asu company, and a complete portable 560 lumen projector. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been John the Net Guy. I really do appreciate everybody that's checked in here, all the regulars, people that have stayed till the end. I had a great time. I expect to do this more and more in 2023. Again, this is live. You can tell here. I'm not a chatbot. I don't write my scripts with chatbots. I just tell you what I think about products here. I want to thank all of the vendors that sent products out today. You'll see these clips in their Amazon stuff. And if you do feel like clicking the link down below and using that, I get a very, very tiny sliver of a commission, which helps keep this studio lit and keeps shows like this coming. I'm going to figure out what happened to my microphone now in the next week. So somehow in the last month and a half that I haven't been streaming, my microphone decided not to work the right way. So we'll take care of that. But I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. I will catch you all later. Jonathan says, I'm so darn tired. I almost fell asleep. I'm sorry if I put you to sleep, John, but that's another great YouTuber. I will catch you guys all in the next one.